Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies and gents, got a little bit of Jaheim in the background. Also, a little bit of me doing my wonderful shrimp fried rice with all my little vegetables frying in the skillet. Gotta turn that off. Y'all hold on a second while I turn off my visual voicey Ricky Riggy Ditchy. Get out of here. All right. Was thinking about something, and the reason why I was thinking about this because I haven't heard anybody talk about it. And I literally do a lot of thinking. So I was thinking, and so I decided I'm going to share some of these thoughts with y'all. You know the thought that I had? Of course you don't. You don't know how I think. You keep trying to figure out how I think, but it ain't possible. Okay? Your mama. All right. Here. Oh, because one of y'all made a comment that y'all knew I didn't like, so I said your mama. Not ain't ya, but your mama. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you have been trying to figure out the name game. You know that when they do all capitalization, that it signifies a statutory entity. Corporations are statutory entities. Stop using the phrase, I ain't no corporation. Just say I'm not no statutory entity. Statutes can't define me. There is no provision in law which permits a statute to define me. That's all you have to say. Well, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not telling you to say that. Because somebody's going to be like, well, you told us to tell them that. Look at what they did to me. Look at what they did. You see my head? Okay, my head ain't supposed to look like this. Because of you, this is what I had to go through. And let's make sure y'all understand that right now I had to add some okra. I forgot to add my okra, so now I'm adding my okra. That's right, we're going to be doing okra. And then I got some other things I'm going to be adding to, well, I got to add the rice in a minute. But we got to make sure that it tastes like it did last night. Because last night was the bizarre. It's not something I do every day. You notice it was a month ago when I did it before. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the name game, we had everybody understanding that, like I told you, in scripture, you don't have people with two names unless you get to the pagan nations. Okay? When you get to the pagan nations, then you had some of them having two names. Now remember, we are not talking about people like Julius Caesar, because Julius was his name, Caesar was his title. Okay, so we're not talking about those type of names. I mean, even when you get to Alexander the Great or the Princess of Wales, it was always the name and the title. Okay, so we're not talking about those names. We're talking about when they started using the two-name system. There was no reason to use the two-name system. It's just somebody decided to do that. That's why it was a surname and a family name. It has always been the same thing. Remember, Jesus ben Joseph, which was Jesus, son of Joseph, or Joseph. Okay, so we still use the same system. It hasn't changed. If your name is Charles Witherham, it is Charles Ben Witherham. Okay, the name hasn't changed. The first and last name, we call it first and last name today, but it wasn't originally called no first and no stupid last name. That is what it has evolved to being called today. Statutorily, first and last name. Okay, statutorily, a first, a last, and a middle name. Now remember, statutorily, the name can include an initial, can include a period. We showed that to you yesterday. There's no reason for us to show it to you again today. So statutorily, got to keep saying that till y'all finally get it, because y'all are not getting it. You guys remember the Y2K bug? They called it a bug, and it never was a bug, and it just didn't pan out the way they said it was going to pan out. I forgot all about the Y2K. Oh, God, all the computers are going to fail. The entire world is going to collapse. Oh, Lord. Anyway, let's get back to the name thing. We're going to open up a Word doc. I could do this in Notepad, but we're going to open up a Word doc. And so give it a second to open up. We're going to open up this one. Okay. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, let's say a person's name is Robert Reed. Now, let's do Robert Reed. You guys remember Robert Reed? The late Robert Reed? Okay, let's say a person's name is Robert Reed. And let's say they're writing. Now, I'm not saying that you guys should do this. I'm giving this only as a suggestion because I just thought of it while I was cooking. And I'm still cooking, so I haven't completely, fully given it a run around in my little noggin. So if I haven't run it around in my noggin, don't you just sit up there and start doing it because you said, well, he must have run it around in his noggin. Okay, that's the only reason why he'd do a video talking about Robert Reed. So let's go show y'all. We're gonna bring this bigger so y'all can see it, so it'll be bigger. We're gonna highlight it. And let's say the court got a court case and y'all dealing with the court, and you're dealing with traffic tickets or whatever, and you want them to understand that you ain't one of their statutories, and you not no statutory citizen, but you are an American. You are one of the peoples. Remember we talked about we the people? Watch this. Dag nabbit. I can't pull that up either. I gotta pause y'all because that's somebody's information. So okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing too many things at once. It would have taken a moment for me to do that because I'm sitting up here stir frying, stirring and frying at the same time. And now I'm adding my rice. And so I couldn't be doing all of that at the same time because I ain't no so-called ambidextrous, multifaceted personality. I can only do one thing at a time. Okay? You do more than one thing at a time. You only talking about other things. You just shut up. Sorry. When you hear me doing stuff like that, that's because what you guys don't realize, but I realize that there's somebody out there who's actually saying something stupid like that in the background. And so what I'm doing is I'm letting them know what they sound like. Okay, and then I'm giving them my response. So that's all that is. That's not me. He's got a split personality, mama. He done split it and divided it so many times that it don't even recognize itself no more. Okay, it ain't that. It's I got so many people out there wanting to comment that I decide I'm going to do the comments for them. That way, that's why I turn the comments off, because if I'm making all the comments, then y'all ain't got to waste your time making comments. So that's why that is, okay? All right, let's get back to this. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, we talked about the people. We talked about the right of the people. So let's talk about that right of the people. I got my rice in. And now, oh, Mama, that sounds good. I think he might be a cook, Mama. Mama, listen to that. I wonder if it smells like it sounds. Okay. Anyway, people, when you are referring to yourself as one of the people, do it according to the way they recognize you and your ability to refer to yourself as one of the people. Now, remember, before we did that, let's do the selection again. Oh, come on, give me my... It ain't giving it to me, y'all. There it is. Then we're going to do we. We're going to do we the people. We are the champions, my friend. Okay, now, as you know, sorry, doesn't that just sound fabulous? Anyway, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about we the people, they want to define what we the people mean today. As you all know, there has been a debate about who is we the people, who is part of that group. And people are saying you're not part of that group. They're saying it means the political arm, that you have to be a part of the political community. Ladies and gentlemen, there was nothing in law that said you had to be part of the political community to be a part of We the People. What they don't understand is when the United States was so-called formed, that all the people weren't involved in politics, but all of the people had rights. And the cases back then recognized all of the people, the common folk, because We the People included the common folk too. Hold on, that's why it was under common law. That's why all of the laws referred to the common folk, and it didn't just refer to them, We the People, that they want y'all to understand and believe that it was referring to. So that's how you clear that up. Okay, so you list yourself as being a part of the common community, not the political community. Do you see this right here? They had members of the political community. No, you don't want to be members of the political community. You want to be persons who are part of the national community. Okay? They gave us the word. That's what I do. I take their junk. I'm a plagiarist. I take their junk and make it mine. Like B.F. Huffington, B.F. Anyway, I take it and make it better. All right? So that's on that. So those of you who are sitting up there wanting to come up with new phrases, catchphrases, because you think you created something new, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the first to bring this to people's attention. Okay? But what I notice is that nobody is doing this. Well, at least the ones who are doing it, they're keeping it to themselves. They're not sharing it. You know, so you and your friends, y'all don't get to hear about this stuff because they do this in little groups. And so the rest of you who have your little groups, you guys are not talking about subjects like this. You're talking about something different. Okay? So what I'm doing is I am talking about it all. Not just part of it, but I'm talking about it all. Why? Why is it necessary to talk about all of it, not just part of it? Because it's 100% necessary. Because the system is not designed in parts. It's designed to come together. So look at their administrative system. It doesn't not cover everything. Everything you've ever thought of, don't they already have a solution for? So that's what I'm trying to say. So what we are doing is we're going to cover everything. Just that simple. All right. So let's get back to the conversation. The reason for this video. Robert Reed. What if I'm talking to the court? What if Robert Reed was my name? And what if, am I communicating with the court, I communicate with the court under my name? I don't change it. If they want it in all caps, hold on. Sorry, I'm not meaning to do that. My mouse is a little sensitive. Okay? They want it in all caps. Why not I just put my documents in the record in all caps? Some of you, I know I hear it. I hear your brains are popping and whining and twisting and twisting. I hear it, okay? So don't think I don't hear it. I hear your brains operating right now. Remember, they are the ones who, sorry, I'm cracking some eggs. Because you can't make an omelet without cracking some eggs. Are you about to make an omelet? Did I say I was? I thought you said you was making some that shrimp fried rice. What you doing making an omelet and shrimp fried? That's a little too much cholesterol. Anyway, look, I promise you, somebody is sitting up there saying that, okay? And so that's me letting them know how they sound, sitting up here talking to a computer screen that ain't talking back. You are talking back to me. What you talking about? You ain't talking back. Do you understand now? I could always tell people weren't getting that. Now I hope you're getting it. See, understanding the human psyche, I understand that there are people out there who got nothing better to do but to sit up there and to want to have a conversation. And so they have a conversation with the screen for whatever reason. No matter how much I tell them, hey, don't do that. You're talking to a computer screen. Stop that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my take for this morning. How I truly think that, and I do think that they don't have control over every facet of the name. Remember, it's statutory. They didn't invent everything. They don't control everything. They can't control everything because some things were already being done before they changed it. Okay? You can only take control of that which you take control of. Remember, we talked about an individual going to the court and putting in a motion for challenging jurisdiction. Now remember, we told you that the courts have been denying people the right to challenge jurisdiction, and now they can challenge jurisdiction at any time. Then we have that one court case where the court told the person, well, you can't challenge it here. You had to challenge it first in the state case. No, why do you got to challenge it first in the state case? If the state had no jurisdiction in the first place, and if that's what you're bringing up in your challenge is that they originally had no jurisdiction, you don't need to challenge it in the state court. You can challenge it in any court at any time at any proceeding. You guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, so again, if you have that right, why are the courts trying to deny you that right? So you have to understand their statutory laws have limitations. Okay? Their statutory laws have limitations. They can only do so much. So what you have to do is you all have to start getting technical, getting literal. And you stop going by their case law. Stop going by their case law. Go back to telling them their case law is only for referential information only. That you're not relying on this, that this is not your authority. This is their statutory authority. You're not bound by their statutory authority because you're not a statutory citizen. You're part of the national community. You get that? You're part of that general people, not general public. All right? Not general public, general people. Remember, they changed it from general people to political people. When did they come up with a constitutional amendment to change who we the people are? And how could they change that grandfathered group? Well, they can say they all died out. No. For ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Okay? So they did it for themselves and their prosperity, so they could not say that those people died off. That's why I say, if it's me, I'm claiming to be part of that prosperity with dexterity. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's 19 minutes of your time that I've taken up. Now I'm going to let you go back. Just wanted to share this thought with you. Have a good day.